Hello and welcome. This is Rooflemonger. My friends, well, you saw the video title. We're going to talk about Capcom versus SNK today. And honestly, I'll take just about any opportunity I can to talk about CVS, because CVS 2 is one of the best games of all time. And it turns out CVS 3, Capcom versus SNK 3, may not be an impossibility. So we have this article here over at the Video Games Chronicle, and you can find a link to the full article in the video description. And they're talking about, well, CVS 3. Specifically, they're talking to Mr. Oda-san, who is the head honcho these days over at SNK. He's the main director of King of Fighters 15 specifically, and also helped out with the Modern Samurai Showdown game. And he's giving some of his thoughts about CVS 3. So just to start off here, you might remember these images being made. These were made for EVO, because EVO's been gone for a while, it came back, and very well, Capcom versus SNK inspired, to say the least. You know, Ryo versus Ryu, there's Isla versus Cammy, that kind of stuff, right? And we have this picture, and hey, who are these guys? Why, on the right, that's SNK, you know, there's Oda-san, right? But the guys on the left, who are those guys again? Oh, yeah, the guy's currently in charge of Street Fighter. So basically, there's definitely some camaraderie there. Getting that beautiful official art done up here, you know, hanging out with each other. It's like the golden days all over again. And Video Game Chronicles just straight up asked, so what do you think about a Capcom versus SNK 3? To which Oda-san replied, definitely in the future, that's something I think everyone on all sides, both parties, are interested in making a reality. So take that as this, at the bare minimum, SNK is giving the okay to do this in the future. Expounding upon this to say, especially after we saw the reaction to the EVO posters, the Capcom vs. SNK EVO posters, it helped us reconfirm that this is probably one of the most wanted things from the fighting game community across the entire world. And for my money, hey, yeah, definitely. Now, going onwards to state here, there's no specific plans in place here. You know, this is more a pipe dream than anything, but a pipe dream that he's very okay with seeing going forward. Speaking of crossover experience, they go on to say, you know, SNK, more than well-versed with crossover experience. Like, almost every fighting game has an SNK character in it these days. Or, conversely, maybe their characters in an SNK game, like Baiken in Samurai Showdown. So, now that said here, Oda-san would go on to say, you know, there's no actual work done yet, sure. But in the real sense here, the collaboration with just the art at EVO is the first step towards something actually happening in the future. Said people don't want to wait another 20 years for this to happen, right? And making a little bit of joke saying we'll try to get it done in 10. Now to add that, this is from a different article actually, but Capcom is also pretty receptive to this. So Itsuno-san, who was in charge of Capcom vs. SNK 2 all the way back in the day, currently does Dragon's Dogma and Devil May Cry, is very interested in making CVS 3 a reality as well. So basically, lots of goodwill, both parties are interested, so it makes you think maybe, just maybe, something might happen along the road. Now, of course, there's a lot of questions, like you gotta free up some resources, you need a team to do it, which team would do it, would Capcom make it or SNK make it? As much as I love SNK, Capcom versus SNK was definitely a lot better than SNK versus Capcom Chaos, right? Let's put it that way. So, but who knows? Capcom obviously got Street Fighter 6 on the horizon. SNK obviously busy with King of Fighters 15 as it stands, and also making Garou Mark of the Wolves 2, a new Fatal Fury game, and also a little bit of news on that as well. So there is an article over at Twinfinite, and also speaking with Oda-san, and I'll provide a link to that in the video description as well if you want to check the full thing, and they're talking Garou Mark of the Wolves 2, the new Fatal Fury game. We don't really know much about the game other than just the fact that it's greenlit and it's good to go, right? That's what they said at EVO. So one, the game is now in active development. So greenlit, that's passed, we're actually working on the game proper. Two, we just started working on the game, right? So it's gonna be a while before it comes out. Now, one of the more surprising things said in this specific interview is they said they're going to have a much higher focus on single player compared to older SNK titles. Like, yeah, you'll still have your regular versus, you'll have your online play, and hey, SNK figured out rollback netcode with KOF 15, so that's good. We can expect the online to be good, that's great. But in the interview snippet here, Oda-san just states, you know, the game's old, right? Garou didn't come out last week, it came out a long time ago, and a lot of new players just won't even know the story, right? So I guess the focus on story is just to get everyone on board. And they did go out of the way to confirm, yes, Terry Bogard will be in the game. So for whatever reason you were scared Terry wasn't going to make it, don't worry, Terry will be in the game. And, well, that's about it. So obviously, Garou, CVS3, these are things in the far future, right? They're not happening anytime soon. But still, Garou 2 is happening, and CVS3 might just be a possibility. CVS2 is a very special game, and it's really one of the best fighting games of all time. It's really that cut and dry. It's a beautiful game. And if anything approximating that can ever happen again, especially with the all-star rosters of what's possible with Capcom and SNK, because like these are some of the best characters in all of fighting game history, right? Just when you put Capcom and SNK together, magic can happen. Now, I've mentioned this in other videos, but like we're basically on the horizon of a new golden age of fighting games. Like, look what's coming up, right? Street Fighter 6, Project L, all this stuff by itself is already going to be big. We have a new Fatal Fury coming up in Garou 2. Like, whoever thought that was going to happen, it is. And now they're just openly talking about CVS3. Like, yeah, it could happen. So, just good times all around, basically. So, just reporting the news as it currently stands. I'm very happy they're talking about this kind of stuff, but now we're at the end of the video. So thank you very much for watching. Hope this video has found you well, and go out and play some fighting games.